Climate change, we have a limited amount of time to resolve it, and it concerns everyone, literally everyone.
How could we stay under 2 degrees C? Everybody has to do everything possible.
Doing things sustainably is even more modern than modern.
How are we going to figure out this climate crisis, and where do I fit in as an individual?
Keep an eye on the level of ambition in the INDCs.
Our window is closing, but our window's still open. Now that we've set up the 4 pillars of COP21, I think finance will keep coming up, I think the INDCs will keep coming up. And I was thinking about Michael Gerard's post-it, and he told us to keep our eyes on the level of ambition in the INDCs. And I don't really know which countries have submitted their INDCs so far. So I think we should do a little monthly check-in. Who submitted, what their submission is, and find out if we understand it.
I like that.
So I wanted to catch up on where the INDCs are. INDCs submitted to date.
Which only mapped 19, so...
You're looking at World Resources Institute?
Yeah,
I'm looking at Road Through Paris. The goal is different, the baseline's different, and then the reduction is different. When you're just glancing at them, you're like, well, that sounds good, but is that good? I don't know.
Okay, so... Japan. Base year.
2013, 26, 2030. New Zealand, Singapore, China. Here we go.
Here we go, China.
China did theirs when you were in China.
Yeah.
Peak total carbon dioxide emissions by 2030 or earlier. Lower carbon dioxide emissions per unit of GDP by 60 to 65% from 2005 levels. Okay, so no absolute reduction rate.
Interesting.
It's only relative reduction rate.
Okay.
South Korea, okay, 37% by 2030, but where's the baseline year? From the business as usual level. Oh, okay, so they're assuming what their business as
So it's
usual
not
would be.
2030.
They're allowed to do that? They're allowed to just like
Know that.
tell you like, oh, we're gonna be like super polluting, and so 37% is like really a big deal. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Iceland,
Iceland.
Serbia, 9.8%. Ethiopia, Morocco. So it's saying like we'll cut it at least by 13%, but if we get the finance and support we're asking for, we can cut it up to 32%.
I wonder if other developing countries are doing that. It's hard for a developing nation to say, we're going to promise to do this if they don't know yet what the financing is.
Yeah, and the financing, that's going to be a big, big thing.
Yeah.
Canada. Cool, Andorra. Dude, that's a country? This little sandwich between Spain and France.
It's like Liechtenstein. You're like, what is that doing there?
Liechtenstein.
Oh, I just said Liechtenstein.
Gabon. 50% from business as usual pathway.
Go Gabon. Ooh,
Russia. Wow, 70 to 75%?
Seriously?
As long as this target aligns with the maximum possible absorption capacity of its forest. I think what they're saying is that we're going to limit the actual emissions, but we're going to use forests to offset the rest. US, baby.
Here we go. 26 to 28% below 2005 levels by 2025. They're the first ones by 2025. But as I understand it, it's the clean power plan. That they got those numbers because that's how much they can actually get done just using
the clean power plan?
Next up.
Mexico, Norway, EU, European Union. By 2030, 40% from 1990 levels. And then a long-term plan of 60% of 2010 levels by 2050.
Nice. Increased ambition.
Switzerland.
I like it, EU. Switzerland.
50%, 1990 by 2030. Oh, with 30% coming from domestic actions and 20 coming from international projects. I wonder if that's just decorated offset language.
Okay,
So this is a really interesting problem, and so there's no baseline year and saying, okay, from 2005 levels to 2030, how much are you going to reduce? Instead, you get something like this, which is like Russia's going to offset 50% of its emissions, and Mexico's going to have a cap here.
But then again, I mean, at least they're submitting the way that they would want to do it. I mean, they're submitting it with an idea of how they're actually going to achieve it.
It's like giving these countries the flexibility to be ambitious.
And that by submitting all of these INDCs before Paris, they still get to look them over.
Yeah, the pledge and review process.
So as of July 18th, there are 19 submissions.
And there was a request to have them all by March.
feel like I didn't know what to ask about the INDCs until I've actually looked through them, and then there's these things like forests as offsets and business as usual levels, and these kind of like different concepts that I think we could talk to someone about and weave that into the next time we check in on the INDCs.
I think that sounds solid.